I don't want to be that fan right now.
You might as well speak on it now, man, quickly.
Yeah, I'm
What's
gonna
your
ask you guys, because this is my position. Yeah, as I've said, when a team does well, I give the manager the kudos. When a team's doing badly, it's he's an idiot. He's not being honest.
I'm hearing best.
Ollie's leaned all the way back with the shades on.
Excuse me, sir. Can we see your particulars?
Yeah, you lot laugh. You lot laugh. You lot laugh, idiots. What's happening, people? And welcome to another episode of Everyone's a Pundit. And today, it's obviously going to be entertaining due to the results that have happened this weekend. Listening, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell, and please share with your people and also like the video if you enjoy it. Let me just let my guys introduce themselves, please. Can we start with you, please, Dashiki?
It's Dashiki Dash back in the building, Mr. AKA Dash Active TV, a Dash of Sports. Well, feeling good.
Yes, and when you see the Philippine TP.
Yeah, bro. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, what's happening is Patrick Tyrant, aka Young Swaggy Daniels. When you see the T, you see the P. When you see the P, you know, it represents T. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And I'm Semps. For those of you that are watching this for the first time, I am a Manchester United fan. If you're watching, you can see that Pat, Young Swaggy Daniels is a Spurs fan. Dashiki Das is an Arsenal fan. I'm the only person here that have not got 3 points. Funny enough, we were meant to have a Liverpool fan on the podcast today, but guess what? Man said he's not coming on after his team just held smoke 7-2 away to Aston Villa. We don't rate that round here. As we was just saying, Pat has had to come up here and hold smoke after results from his team. And you know what? I'm here and I'm ready to get into it and hold whatever smoke I'm ready to hold and give out whatever I'm ready to give out. Huh?
Your voice is shaking it, but you're all right today.
I got my brandy here, Rude boy. I'm cool. That's helping me.
No. I said, calm down, yeah? We need you focused and sober, okay?
Got my brandy.
None of that Phil Mitchell stuff, yeah?
I'm ready.
Phil Mitchell was drinking Ray and Nephew, though. I'm gonna send you that pic.
You know what's mad as well, yeah? Is usually, obviously, I try and not limit. I don't put no restrictions on my guests, but if they swear and stuff, I edit it out and everything. This is gonna be a PG episode because I can't be holding my tongue. I'm not, I'm gonna try, but I may slip up because I am not happy. And just before we get into it, people, just there's like a pre-lobby, and Pat is already trying to wind me up, so I can see he's gonna wind me up today. And yeah, man. For those of you that are just listening on the audio, yeah, share about with your people, man. Share about with your people. Please. Anyway, we're gonna get into it, man. We're here to chat football. This weekend, what is it? Sunday, October the 4th. Has been mad day for football, and it's been a mad weekend for football. Chelsea beat Crystal Palace 4-0 at home. Everton beat Brighton 4-2 at home. Chelsea beat Crystal Palace 4-0 at home. Everton 4-2 at home. Leeds and Man City drew 1-1. Newcastle beat Burnley 3-1 at home. Leicester lost 3-0 at home to West Ham. Southampton beat West Brom 2-0. Arsenal 2-1 at home to Sheffield United. Wolves just about beat Fulham 1-0. And then the two crazy results. First, Manchester United 1, Tottenham 6. Aston Villa 7, Liverpool 2. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to give my guess. This is a show called Everyone's a Pundit. So let me let Pat talk and say what he wants to say first of all.
I just feel vindicated because I was out here, like I even put it on my Twitter. I was like, who remembers when I was screaming and arguing with every other person when they were saying Jose's finished and all of this and all of that? And I was like, listen, the guy's doing a good job. Just let him get his team, let him get situated, and we'll see what's what. And so far, you can see that Jose is definitely doing a good job. Like even against Newcastle last week, I know it was 1-1 in the end. There's a bit of a travesty that we didn't put more past them, but we were playing good football. During the week, we knocked out Chelsea. Then we obviously put 6 or 7 past that Europa League final qualifier. And then today, Man United, a really tough test. And I said this would be the litmus test to see where we are because Man United are a good team. We're away. I know it's not the same as usual, but they will come on. They finished third. They got good quality throughout that team. They can do their thing on their day, innit? And no one expected that. And it was nice. When we went 1-0 down, I was like, here we go. And the fact that it was a penalty.
Early as well.
I was even winding up some of the Man United boys on Twitter just saying,
sorry, let me just interject. When you write those stupid tweets, you're on a wind-up, isn't it? You don't really... that's a wind-up tweet, isn't it? Please, just clarify, please.
Yeah. I was trying
okay,
to
good.
Don't share the trade secrets, man. Don't share the trade secrets.
Right, it's a wind-up, all right.
Sems knows me. He knows that it's not. It's all with a bit of tongue-in-cheek. The game was coming out. I wanted to make it a bit more spicier because it's been a bit nicey, isn't it? We're all boys. It's been a bit nicey. I needed to throw some jabs out there.
Mate, it ain't been nicey. Don't try it, bro. It ain't been nicey. Yeah.
And 1-0 down. I was like, here we go again. But then we just bounced back straight away. I think that shows the good that where we are right now, the resilience, because we could have crumbled at 1-0 down, especially when that went against us. But we fought back, man. And then after 2-1 up, we was in control in that. The sending off was a bit of a mad thing. That's one of them ones where they can go your way, can not go your way. And then after that...
Wait, call a spade a spade. Call it how it is.
Yeah,
be an honest fan, Pat. Be an honest fan.
What do you mean? Be honest. Like what?
Lamella should have gone as well,
Lamella should have gone. It's either they don't go or they both go.
Or they both go.
Yeah.
It's not one or the other.
It was handbags at the end of the day.
It was strange.
I even think Lamella's one was worse than Martial.
Yeah.
Elbow thing right in the neck.
If it was really reviewed properly, Lamella should have gone rather than Martial, because Martial's just a little flick tap to the face and reacting. This is where VAR now is.
That's what I'm saying.
In terms of getting decisions right, they've been doing well, but in regards to like situations like this, you can see where now we get onto VAR, because this is what VAR is there for, innit? So that people
clear up these things.
Clear up these things. People are in whatever park they're in to check out the footage and to analyze it and referee the game properly.
There's no clarity because like Martial will get sent off this week. Who was it last week where someone literally, Mane punched one of the Arsenal boys in the face and nothing was given? Sorry, a yellow was given. I apologize. A yellow was given, but that should have been.
No, I don't even think a yellow. Was a yellow? I don't think
he was given a yellow because it was so early in the game. The referee gave was given a yellow. It should have been a straight red. Yeah, he got a yellow.
Oh, yes. Sorry. It was given a yellow. Yes,
and that was an excuse. He didn't want it. But a red is a red, isn't it? No matter what time it is, even if it's after 1 second. So there's just no clarity. VAR was meant to put a line down the middle and say, boom, this is a foul, this is a foul. And of course, there's always going to be a bit, but it's just as muddy as it was before. But saying that, 3 points in the bag, a brilliant performance. Son is immense. Harry Kane is a world-class player. Jose Mourinho, the humble one, he's doing his thing. And Ndombele is out here balling. Højbjerg's looking, all these players that I said, they're going to come in and do. You're starting to see
all these players. Say that again. All these players that you said what?
All these players that I said were going to come in and do a good job, and they were good additions, and people were getting onto me. Oh, Højbjerg's dead though. Reguilon, he's dead. All he is pace.
Nobody said Reguilon was dead.
Yo, dash, please. Like in my group, have not people been saying that?
Listen, I'm waiting for my turn. You just because you're on a high right now.
Nah, I'm just saying, innit? So it's a bit of vindication. But we move in at 3 points in the bag. A very good performance. A very, very good week, considering it could have went the wrong way completely, innit? Mm-hmm. And then we set ourselves up nicely for our next game. So I'm happy, man.
All right, that's Pat. Spurs fans, if you're watching this, Don't worry, I'm
He's
coming true.
dejected, bro.
I'm coming true soon. Don't worry. I got stuff
good.
that I want to say. I got stuff I want to say.
You sounding like
Dash.
Patrice Evra right now, but
Patrice Evra is just too real. This is what I was telling you, Dash. He's too real for mainstream TV. This is why
they like him. This is why they like him.
But this is why he needs to get resignated, needs to resign, because he's too real for that. Because people on Sky Sports and pundits on their platforms, they can't be real, because you have to follow like the status quo, the media,
I know, but
the script, and all of that.
There's only a select few that can get away with it.
I'm surprised he's still working there, but I didn't expect to see him again.
Yeah, you get like the Roy Keanes. That's why they've got him on the show. You got Patrice Evra. That's why they've got him on the show. So
Uncle Pat, man.
But
Pat,
hey, man, where can I start with this? First and foremost, congratulations to Spurs, winning their trophy today. I mean, sorry.
Here we go.
I'm joking. All jokes aside. Now, listen, you got to call it for what it is, an absolute whooping. I was going to say something else, but an absolute whooping of a performance today. They did exactly what they needed to do. They put Man United to the sword, and it was a bit of a ruthlessness about Spurs today that I saw, that I was, quietly impressed with, because, most times when you're in the games like this, you kind of put your foot off the brake, off the pedal, should I say, and then you kind of just leave it where it's just 3-1, and then you start messing about a bit. But they were relentless, and I honestly, I don't think the sending off would have made any difference today. I think that United's defense today was shocking, to say the least. Real shocking. And I think it just goes to see the morale of the club as well. You can see that the team was a bit dejected. I don't know if that's affected by what's going on with the transfers or just the club in itself. But you can see that it's affected the team. There was no fight. There was no desire. You're looking at certain players to obviously try to galvanize the team. They weren't there. And obviously goals will always demoralize you. So in terms of United, I want to say that United made it easy for Spurs, but at the same time, Spurs did a professional job. No matter who you're playing against, you're there to do your job. And if you can really just do one on a team, you go for it. You go for the juggler, and that's exactly what Spurs did. Now, I understand the excitement from Spurs, and I understand the excitement from you, Pat. But last week you drew against Newcastle. You know what I mean? So what I would say is that you got to wait for your team to be consistent, and any team really. You know what I mean? So consistency is key. So
to be fair, I get what you're saying, but if you look at our performance against Newcastle, it was still a good performance. I know it was a 1-1 draw, but if you look at it,
it was a good performance, but you didn't finish your dinner.
Correct.
Today,
no, that's correct.
Today you absolutely finished the plate. You licked the plate, and then you gave it back into the kitchen, and you know what I mean. But man, what can I say about Son right now? He's I think the role reversal right now between Son and Kane is looking real good, where, I think I don't think Son's got that in his locker to be feeding Kane.
Yeah.
Kane's got that in his locker to be feeding Son, and Son's finishing right now is amongst the best. It's amongst the best in Europe. I'm gonna give him his kudos there. But all I can just say is, for Spurs, a professional job. You've gone away from home. You've gone, there was a lot of talk about Jose Mourinho going back to Old Trafford. I don't know. I want to say that United kind of gifted you this win, but at the same time, I've got to give Spurs their credit, because it's not based on a bad performance from Spurs. I just think from United. I think Spurs definitely capitalized and put them to the sword, and finished them off.
Okay, that was Dash. I'm coming in now. Yes, Spurs were good today, but you've even said there in your whole thing that Manchester United defense was shocking. So you can't then say that and then say Spurs were brilliant. Do you know what I'm saying? There has to be an element of the fact that we did make it easy for Spurs today. We've gone 1-0 up. We've gone 1-0 up from a legitimate penalty, I may add. So there's no point talking about Man United getting all these. It was a legitimate penalty. Nobody can say that it's
mistakes that you made in defense.
And then we let them in from our own mistakes.
Okay,
that's what we did. we let them in from our own mistakes. Now, what I would say is I'm not taking anything away from the Spurs performance, because I think 11 versus 11 on the field, Spurs still win today. I do genuinely believe that, because Spurs were on top at that time. Football is about fine margins, though. When Rashford hits the post, that could be 2-2. The game could change. Who knows?
Yeah, that's shoulda, coulda, woulda's though, innit?
No, I'm saying football is fine margins. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I've already said to you that Spurs were well worth their win. And I do think that they would have won 11 versus 11. But we have to all acknowledge the fact that there's an element that Manchester United were piss poor today. They were piss poor from from back to front. But I say from back to front, really and truly, it's really just from the back. Because Ollie's come out in his press conference talking about we defend from the front, we defend from the front. But those goals came from defensive errors.
100%.
Defensive errors. You know, the first goal was when Maguire knocks down Kane in a silly foul, which he shouldn't have given a foul there. Then everyone sleeps. He plays Son in quickly, 1-1. Do you know what I'm saying? Boom. Then you're thinking, oh my gosh. Then, oh no, that was the second one, wasn't it? The first one was Maguire header.
Yeah, and
the Maguire header, when he tries to head it back to the keeper, fluffs it. He even pulls down Luke Shaw in the process. If you see the replay, and Ndombele hits it in. Then there's the second one. That's defensive errors. We then go a man down, and what do? You're trying to play out from the back. Bailly passes it straight to your team. Let me say, I'm not saying that Spurs would not have won today, but Manchester United made it easy for them with these dumb defensive errors.
And that's what I meant. That's what I meant in sense of like Spurs just doing a professional job. And obviously, it probably wouldn't have been the scoreline that it was with 11v11. As you said, that Spurs would have won the game. But I'm just commending Spurs in terms of just not taking their foot off the pedal and actually just being ruthless with it. But your defensive areas and how you lot played today definitely played a part. That's there and evident to see. And the question is why? Why are you lot not up for this game?
Well, it's not even a case of why you're not up for this game. I've said throughout the whole of this week, I said that, and I was trying to get to Pat to just come out and say it and be confident on Twitter. I'm like, what are you saying? What are you saying? Because I've been speaking to my guy West, who was on the show last week. He's a Spurs fan. I've been speaking to him all week, and I've been saying, and Bear Culture London, Spurs are playing well at the moment. There's no doubt about it. Like what Pat said, last week they got robbed by that dodgy handball. They played well against Newcastle. On another day, they win 1-0, done and dusted. Do you know what I'm saying? They played how many games during the week? And every single game they played well. Do you know what I'm saying? And some people were saying, we're playing all of these games, you know, fitness, At this stage of the season, these players need games. They need minutes. That's 100%. How you get fitness.
I think your late start cost you a bit.
I agree, but I'm not making. But I'm not taking. I'm not making any excuses.
Just on the back of
because we're playing crap.
Yeah.
We've played Crystal Palace at home first day of the season. We got played off the park. We played crap. We lost 3-1. We then go to Brighton, and we got played off the park. We managed to win 3-2. And then we've played today, and we've played crap again, and we've got beat 6-1. The reality of the situation is we've started the season, and like what you said, the morale of the team. Spurs is up here at the moment. Spurs is up here. They're confident. They're playing well. Their big players are playing well. They've got Bell come in. They've got all of these different signings coming in.
Yeah.
You've got Manchester United, though, on the other hand, where players are coming out publicly and saying, we need signings, but we're not getting the signings. And yes, I do believe that the morale of Manchester United at the moment is through the floor. We don't look confident. We're not playing with that same swagger. And if I'm being honest, we haven't played with that same swagger for a while. Since even last season, after the first 3 games of lockdown, our performances dipped.
Yeah.
Our performances dipped. That's why we went out of, however many semi-finals, Chelsea in Europa League. We just about limped over the line towards the end. Do you know what I'm saying? We have not played well for a while. And things need to change.
What happens now? Obviously, you've got one day before the deadline's over. You got Cavani allegedly done and dusted. That's coming in.
That's done.
Do you want to see
the Tellers guy as well?
Oh yeah, Tellers is meant to be done. But Sems, as a fan, would you want to see you guys be reactionary now and make a big signing, or would you rather just keep what you got and not panic buy?
No, it's not about being reactionary, Pat. It's about the fact that the squad needs improving, and we've needed that from the beginning. I've come up on here and I've said I understood why Ollie prioritized the league over the semi-final against Chelsea, because for me, top four was the most important thing. I believed if we get top four, we're playing Champions League football next season. That is then we then strengthen and we then push on. That's what I believed.
Yeah.
It's not actually happened. We finished top four. We've gone transfer market and we've just brought in Donny van der Beek, which is a player that we didn't necessarily need. It's a player we needed to bolster the squad, and it gives us options.
Yeah.
But there are other
He's a
areas on the
quality
pitch
player as well.
which were priorities that we have not sorted out. It's not about buying a big name like Cavani, because again, bringing Cavani in, we don't create chances. What chances did we create today? Even when it was 11v11, I saw at one point we hadn't had no real attempts at goal. I think Greenwood took one shot in anger at the edge of the box, and we weren't creating anything. You lot were the ones that looked dangerous every time you attack. I don't like the 4-2-3-1 that we play, because we always seem to get overrun in midfield. It doesn't work with Pogba, Matic, and Bruno playing advance. Pogba and Matic get overrun. Pogba's always playing deep. Pogba is not a defensive-minded player. Yes, everyone can try and get onto Pogba. Well, how many midfielders do we need to sign to unlock Pogba? Pogba's rubbish. Pogba's this. Pogba's that. Pogba's not playing in the areas where he needs to play. Pogba's not playing in the areas where he is effective. Our balance is shocking. That is something that I can say that Jose is getting right at Spurs, is the balance.
But how long is this going to be? How long is this going to be going on? Because this whole narrative of Pogba not playing in his right place, when is he going to play in his right place?
I'm not manager of Manchester United Football Club, Dash. How are you going to ask me that question?
I
don't know. I don't know. It's the same thing that why we haven't had a right winger since Depay left. We've had Mata playing on the right wing for how many years, and now we've got Greenwood, and people are saying we don't need Sancho because we got Greenwood. Greenwood's not a right winger. Greenwood's is a striker.
But Pat's question is good though. It's just like, obviously, the now we've had the whole transfer window. We're now down to the last day. If you go into the transfer window now, is it deemed as a panic station, panic buy-in? Because you're clearly saying that you need to bolster the squad.
We do.
In what? In a matter of hours, you know what I mean? So now if you
we're towards the end of the window, so surely there's got to be deals that they've been working on for however many weeks that we can try, I'm hoping, push over the line. It's not now that they sit in their living rooms tonight and be like, you know what, we need a centre back. Let's go and buy a centre back tomorrow.
You know the reason why I'm just piggybacking off that question is because the likes of Cavani. Did you see Cavani in the woodworks for you guys?
No, see that signing to me don't make sense.
So a signing like that will be deemed like a bit of a panic buy. So you might that's a
panic buy, 100%.
So you might get more of that. So obviously the question is would you just prefer to just stay how you are now, or just leave it if you know that there's going to be more panic buys?
Do you see the problem is we can't leave the squad as it is now. The first 11 is good enough to compete in the Premier League. Yeah, that's my opinion. If we have a Klopp or a Bielsa or even a Graham Potter, whatever his name is, if we have those managers and a first 11 is good enough to compete in the Premier League. My issue this season is the fact that we have got the Champions League. So last season, when we had Europa, you could play Lingard, Mata, Pereira, what's his name, Brandon Williams, Dalot. You can play that. You can drop Lindelof and bring in a Eric Bailly or even a Phil Jones, Gallo, and you could still get a result in the Europa League. We can't do that in the Champions League when we're playing RB Leipzig and PSG. So our squad is run thin. And this is where our problem is. We need to bolster the squad. But yes, we need to bolster the squad in the right areas. My concern is that it's clear that we need a centre-back. It's clear that we need two centre-backs because
you got Mike Smalling, man.
Why has Smalling been shut out when he's actually he's a decent centre-back, man?
This is football though, Pat. This is football and politics because Smalling is never going to get back in this team, even though he should. Do you know what I'm saying? I've been commissioning for Eric Bailly to play because
Yeah.
he's a better option than Lindelof and Maguire. But that doesn't actually mean that he's still a good option. Do you know what I'm saying? The fact of the matter is,
I think Baye's situation is just a lack of games. You can tell he's a quality defender, but when you're in and out of the team, it's difficult to get onto that level of performance.
Yeah,
And
rhythm,
as we saw in the documentary with Spurs with Rose, obviously being in 3 games here and then being out for 5 games, it ruins your rhythm. So
yeah,
it's difficult. He's a quality defender, but he's not helped by the type of injuries that he gets on a consistent basis. So you definitely need defenders. And this is where my thing, and Pat, you know this in our group that we chat, and I just think from the outside as non-Man United fans and looking at Man United, and we revere Man United as one of the best teams,
the top teams, top
teams. And the fact that I don't want to say that you've put all your eggs in the basket because we don't know what goes behind. We don't know what's going behind the scenes in terms of your transfer, but just knowing that the whole narrative of Sancho coming to the club, to the club, that, and then not getting that marquee signing to kind of boost, as we've seen with Spurs, getting that marquee signing with Bell just boosted them.
It's just like the momentum.
Do you think that's really? Do you reckon that's that kind of?
I don't think it's the marquee. I don't think it's the marquee. I don't think that with Spurs it's the marquee. It's Gareth Bale. That's what's given Spurs the lift. Another marquee signing wouldn't have given Spurs the lift as Gareth Bale has. Gareth Bale returning to Spurs is different. For Man United, we've done the marquees. We've done it. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got hella marquees over the last 7 years. For me, it's not about the marquee. It's about getting quality players. But Sancho would have been one of the first type of players that we've bought over the last few years that would have fit the supposed new philosophy in recruitment and what we're trying to do long term. That's why that would have been a top signing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not. It's a much better than signing than your Di Marias and everything.
No, but what I'm saying to that is that obviously the failure to doing that. Do you reckon that's kind of knocked you lot back? It's a bit like getting rejected by a painting, isn't it? Like you're going after her, and then she's like, nah, and you're like, oh, damn.
No, but it's not the marquees. This is what the point I'm trying to make. It's the fact that we've not brought players in. It's definitely, I feel, knocked the morale of the club. Because
what about Ousmane Dembele? Would you take him?
Can I just butt in quickly? No. Do not sign that guy. He's injury prone. He always gets injured.
But the thing is, we're into. What is it now? We're looking at 26 hours now left of the transfer window.
Do you know why I say that? Because Pat is right in what the question that he's asked is like, you don't want to just buy the player. You got to do a bit similar to what Klopp is done. Like, if you can't get Sancho now, who you want, wait for him then. Go and get him when you need. Like, if you're going to try to fit players within your philosophy, don't just get a player for getting a player's sake. If that's your main target and you can't get him now, you wait for him, you bring him into your team so he can fit your philosophy. You're going to bring in a Dembele who's not going to work out for you guys. I guarantee it. Then you're going to be sitting there thinking to yourself, why did we bring this guy in? It's probably then going to ruin your chances with Sancho or whatever. And then you're going to have to start again. Sometimes we just
Dembele is a loan deal though, isn't it? If he comes in. It's a loan.
It's a
loan. So it's totally different. It's not like we're going to buy him for the future. If we're getting him for a loan for a season and then we go in for Sancho at the end of next season, then to me it makes sense because he's an upgrade on Daniel James, bro. Daniel James weren't even on the bench today. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Man United have got problems. And one thing I would say to you, Pat, is regarding Jose, I have been very clear with you is that when I was slating Jose last season, you was telling me it's the players. That's what you was telling me. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. The results that you was getting where you was performing poorly last season was on Jose. It wasn't the players because Spurs have quality players. This is the point I've been trying to make. He even says in the All of Nothing, I have inherited a better squad than I did at Manchester United. Spurs have quality players all over the football field. So when it's not a case of I feel vindicated, my boys this, I knew that they will come good. I have never once slated your boys. I've slated Jose as a manager saying that he's a dinosaur. So yes, he's actually doing well with the team he's got now. It's a long season ahead. I'm just hoping that I'm proved right at the end of the season.
You won't be.
I'm
Don't worry
hoping,
about that.
but right now,
You won't be.
I'm not. But
Yeah.
he's got quality players at his disposal,
No,
and
he
now
did.
you've
But he did.
added
Yeah.
quality as well.
Yeah. He had quality
He's
players,
got
but the
no.
squad.
You've got no excuses
Yes.
now. Top 4 and a trophy, or top 4, and then you
And then
build for
we
that
go
to next
again.
season.
100%. 100%. And last time I came on here, I was slating Daniel Levy, and I said, "There's no ambition." Since then, he's gone out and got a second striker. He's got a left back. He's got a right back. We brought in Gareth Bell, and we also brought in there's someone else as well. But we've shown intent. We've shown the desire to improve the squad and push on. So yeah,
it's not the first time though that Levy's is done this though. You got to sometimes appreciate the fact there's periods of time like no, honestly, because after your Bell money, you went and spent the money that you had, and then you bought 5 players. So if that's not showing intent, although
we bought 7. We bought 7.
Yeah, 7. If that's not showing intent, it just doesn't work out. Sometimes there needs to be a good marriage between, the manager that you bring in. For some reason, he didn't trust Poch with money.
Yeah,
I don't know. We don't know why. We don't know what the reasons are. We don't know what project that he had, but he didn't trust. But when you bring in someone like Jose Mourinho, the negotiations that they would have had when Mourinho's coming to sign for Spurs, he would have told Levy, like, listen, I would need money. I can't do this without money. So if you can't do that for me, then it's not going to work. And he's done what he had to do. I just think Samson's right. I think one thing that you would need to just admit to the fact that when Jose Mourinho does well in terms of the results that he got today, you give him his kudos. When he does bad, it's not, you go to say it's the player's fault. It's the manager, you know what I mean? It's the manager that sets up the team.
What I've always said as well is when Jose had inherited the squad, it was stale. There was players there that needed to go. There was players there was issues. Then also we had hella injuries. So that's all I was saying, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah,
so that's really
today. The only new player that played was Højbjerg, right? Today.
No, Reguilon played as well.
And
Reguilon started. Højbjerg started.
Regulator.
Yeah.
That was it, I believe. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Højbjerg and Reguilon.
Yeah.
And your boy Aurier was there, man. Docky holding bench.
Yeah, Aurier played well today, man. I was pleasantly surprised with that performance. And sometimes that's what you need. You need competition for places and people to step up. Like, this is your chance now. You've got someone else that will come in, and Serge was our right back and our only right back last year. And sometimes that can give you that like little bit of, like an insecurity that you're going to play anyway. So the performances might not be all the way there. But yeah.
What do you lot make, just before we move on, because I don't want to start shouting Ollie out. I don't want to be that fan right now.
You might as well speak on it now, man, quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you guys, because this is my position, yeah? As I've said, when a team does well, I give the manager the kudos. When a team's doing badly, it's he's an idiot. He's not doing all this.
I'm hearing bear scream.
Ollie's leaned all the way back with the shades on.
Excuse me, sir. Can we see your particulars?
Yeah, you lot laugh. You lot laugh, idiots.
Yeah, go ahead, Ollie.
Yeah, man. Like, this is 3 games in now, and we went down to 10 men today, but at 11 versus 11, this is another performance which was lacking. So, you know what I'm saying? For me, we have to start to look at the manager. We have to start looking at the tactics, the way we play, the system, because I don't like the 4-2-3-1, as I've said. And yes, last season we got joy, but when we play the big teams, we got joy against the big teams. Do you know what I'm saying? The little teams we struggled with last season. Then Bruno came in and we still had some good wins against the big ones. But was that just the new player bounce? Do you know what I'm saying? Bruno came in and had that, because after lockdown and the first couple of games, we didn't have that same swagger towards the end. We really didn't. Everyone needs to check it. And then I sort of hid behind the fact that it could have been fitness and we was playing the same players and they got tired. Or was it just the way that we play as a team? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you guys think?
I think, with Ollie, he's had periods, he's had phases in terms of how he's galvanized the team. It's like he's lacking the consistency in it. So it's like within his tenure, like he has a period of time where it goes a bit, pear-shaped, and then he finds a formula that he runs with, and it works for a period of time, and then it must be hella frustrating as a Man United fan to going through this, because it's just up and down, up and down. So he needs to just find the system that's going to work throughout. And is it due to the fact that he hasn't got the players that he needs? That could be, like you said, players maybe to free up Pogba, players that are more creative. And now that you got Cavani, maybe that could work in terms of having a focal point to target. So I don't know. 3 games in, as you said, for you guys. So it is early, but you just don't want to get off on this type of start so that it doesn't affect the morale of the team.
What do you think about Ollie?
It's a difficult one, because I do think he's done very well. And yeah, like Dasha said, like when Bruno come in and he had this purple patch, you guys were flying. And even when Ole was first appointed, he did really, really well. Hence the whole Ollie's at the wheel. No one expected him to do what he did. But then there's moments where he's just, it seems with Ole, there's no plan B. There's no plan B. Like today, there was nothing where he tried to. I know he made the subs at half time and he brought on McTominay, and I think he brought on someone else. I can't remember. But there doesn't seem to be that switch up a play or that plan B. But I think it's too early to go gung ho and chop him.
Yeah.
But it's a tricky one, because you don't want to get to 5 or 7 games and then everyone's questioning what's going on. So the performances need to pick up sharpish, otherwise you will be in trouble.
It's definitely not an Ollie out moment. Three games in. You win your next game, you win the next 2 on a bounce, then things are looking a bit different.
Things start to change.
You don't know what our next few games are. You're thinking about winning the next 2 on the bounce.
I haven't checked, to be fair.
The Premier League is mad right now.
So from my understanding, I'm going to check it now, but from my understanding, I believe we've got Newcastle next, and then after that we play PSG. Then we've got Arsenal. Then we've got RP Leipzig, and then we've got
no, bro. You've got Chelsea as well. You got Chelsea on the 24th.
Sorry, Chelsea Leipzig. Before Arsenal. Before Arsenal. Chelsea before Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? At the moment, we're 2 losses out of 3 games, but we're 3 out of 3 games in terms of poor performances, and that's what's concerning me as a Manchester United fan. With our purple patches or our good play, you people can argue that it's not anything tactical that's doing that. It's the brilliance of the front 3 that then came together, and Bruno Fernandes and those special players that we've had that have got us through those games. But then when it gets to a position where we need to be a bit tactically astute, like today, we go a man down, there's no change. At halftime, the game was finished. So then it makes sense for him to bring on a few more defensive-minded players, because we were already, 4-1 at halftime? Do you know what I'm saying? 4-1. 4-1 at halftime. The game's finished at that point, because we're a man down as well. We're not coming out to win in the second half. But when, in that first half, when Martial got sent off, there was no tactical change in our play. There was nothing different about us. We still carried on trying to play out from the back. We then lost more goals. So, yes, Ollie then has to look at himself. He said it in his post-match as well, that, they have to look at themselves, him and his coaching staff. And as you said, it is early doors. I don't want to start jumping on the Ollie out bandwagon, but I'm watching you.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
I'm watching you because we've not been funny. You know how this Premier League can go, Pat? A few more games with no results. Then where are we?
You'll be like us when Poch got booted. It can easily turn just like that. Especially if you take a pasting in the Champions League, then things will get really bad. Yeah. So but the thing is, as we all know, with football, we always, like, no matter who the team is, there's always this moment where, like, oh my God, your next one of fixtures, and somehow the team always
get a result.
Something will happen.
I think it's in the balance at the moment. It can go either way, just based on your start right now in it. And like like Pat said, how with Poch, unfortunately, it went left
the wrong way.
But with Ollie, I've seen times where it looks like he's not doing well. There's countless of times we've been through this conversation. Ollie should go, Ollie out, then Ollie's back at the wheel, then Ollie out. So it shows you that it's just the inconsistency in terms of the team. And like I said, I feel like maybe it could be a situation where the right players are not in the team right now. Maybe it's as you said, the front 3 of quality players and quality shines in it. It shines through. So maybe you just need additional quality so that you're able to play. Then the tactics comes through and stuff like. Because sometimes it's like that. You know what I mean? You see with Klopp, it didn't start off straight away that he can start doing this press. Bergen press kind of game. He had to get the players of quality, then to be able to apply the tactics. Sometimes we think that you can just do the tactics straight away and be tactical, and you don't have the players to do it. You know what I mean?
And maybe even Patrice Evra today was saying that we keep saying it has to be Maguire and someone else. He was like, maybe it's time to drop Maguire. He's like, he hasn't been good. Maybe it's time to drop him.
It's going to be very, very difficult for Man United or any team that spends that amount of money on a player to really. You need to really At the moment, I think United is just going to be wrong and strong with this. They're going to be wrong and strong, and they're just going to hold that and holding with Maguire there. But we all can see, we all got footballing eyes. We all can see that Maguire, he needs a break.
Yeah, he needs a break.
He needs to be taken at the fire line a bit, but at the same time, you don't have the replacement to put there. So he's going to have no, even if he's playing bad, he's going to have no period of time to really just come at the spotlight a little bit. Just because the move, let's get it proper. The move from Leicester to United is a massive move for any player, you know what I mean? Regardless if you cost 80 or not. And then to not being able to come out the firing line is because it's not all going swimmingly well, like a Van Dijk situation. You go into Liverpool and you make an impact and you push on from there. He's clearly having a difficult time, but you can't replace him.
Yeah, but again, we're being kind. He's not good enough.
No. Don't listen. I'm not gonna badger him and.
No, he's rubbish.
I'm just saying. Rubbish. I'm saying in a situation of a decision that United needs to make.
Pat is rubbish. Come on, would you take him at Spurs? Would you take him at Spurs?
No, I wouldn't. All right. No.
Would you take him at Arsenal?
Boy, we've got Gabriel right now. He's looking decent, so no.
No one is taking Harry Maguire. He's rubbish. He's rubbish. And you know what? This is the problem with football now. Is you have spent 80 million pounds on him, minutes, so you can't just go and drop him and push him. This is the problem now. So we've made him captain as well.
Mm-hmm. It's difficult.
Did you see that captain's performance?
Yeah, it was not there. It was not there because it would be very difficult. Because
Samson's looking teary-eyed right now.
Look what happened when Delhi was dropped. And Delhi's not captain. Delhi didn't come for big money. He did blah blah blah. Imagine if you drop Harry Maguire, the Man United captain, the press would just be on to Man United every second of the day. It would just be mad.
Pogba was dropped.
Yeah,
he's not English.
Yeah, I know.
So these are the questions, innit?
These are the English.
I know that. I just put that out there in terms of for me, it's just like a situation is it's a bit of a pride thing for Man United because they don't want to be seen to drop a player that everybody knows that isn't great, and he's cost 80 million. That's corn that they're holding right there. That's egg on the face.
But do Man United realize that he's not great? Because that's what worries me. What worries me is that Ollie's speaking to the people and being like, no, Maguire's a quality defender. He's just going through a tough time. That's what worries me. Surely you should be able to see that this guy is not quality. He's not quality.
He's probably great in out of a bad bunch. And that always is deceiving, isn't it? When you ain't got the defenders that are there in the team and he's the best. And you don't want to.
He should be the best. He's bloody 80 mil.
Yeah, so I don't know. But to answer your question, Ollie, it's not time for Ollie out situation.
Yeah, he needs time.
But it can
you
go.
Need to assess it.
It can go left or right
after 10 games. But the only problem is because the start has been so poor by Man United standards. After 6 or 7 games, it might be too late. Yeah. Because if other teams, I know the Premier League's a bit mad at the moment. There's a few shocking results, but Arsenal and Tottenham seem to be quite steady. You've got Everton that seem to be quite steady. Liverpool was still. So if those teams keep picking up points, all of a sudden Man United are 10 points off, and it's still early. It's a lot. Do you know what I mean?
I think for United, what they would have hoped for this season is not to be in a situation where they claw back the points. You don't want to make it difficult. You want it to go into the season where you're just establishing yourselves, you're putting the points on the board and you're pushing on in it.
You're just
rather than it being a case where you're getting to the last month of the season or the last 2 months and then you're getting the points and you're looking good and stuff like that. But by then, what have you really done? You know what I mean? You could be in a situation where you're just scraping Champions League once again.
Last season, we was playing poor. We were poor up until Christmas. January comes, we sign Bruno Fernandes, it all changes.
Yeah.
Now, unless we make some changes now in the next, 25 and a half hours, we bring some signings in, we go to Newcastle away. I won't say too much about the home and away because there's no fans, so I don't think that makes a big difference. But we play Newcastle, who has been a bit of a bogey team for us in the last few years. We then have a Champions League game to PSG, as we've already said. Then we play Chelsea, who the reality of the situation is they just beat up Crystal Palace that we struggled against. Then we go to RB Leipzig, and then we play Arsenal, who also are playing well. They're not playing scintillating like Spurs or whatever, but you're getting points on the board.
Yeah, they're picking up points.
And then our next league game after that is Everton. Now, we've been here before, is what you're going to say, Dash. But we had a Bruno Fernandes then. We had a new manager then. What new bounce is going to come this time?
I was going to say that I have a feeling, this is not set in stone, but I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a load of surprise results. I don't think it's just going to be a conventional, like you're looking at your fixtures and you're thinking, oh man, we've got Chelsea, we've got Arsenal and stuff like that. I think there's going to be points that you can get. And I feel like this season, points are just going to be shared across the whole board, man. We're seeing like, we're going to get into Villa and stuff like that, but Villas are taking points off Liverpool.
I know.
We see
Leeds
Crystal
are taking
Palace,
points off City.
Crystal Palace have taken points off you.
Off United,
So we're going to.
City,
I think it's going to be a mixed season. Leeds have taken points of City. It's going to be a mixed season. So I think looking at fixtures on paper, I think it's going to be something that we might have to just kind of stay away from a little bit, because at the moment, the way the season started, it's looking like points can be grabbed anywhere. So you're looking at
all of those teams you've mentioned, though, have been playing well or decent in previous games.
But all it takes is for you to get that one result. You never know, man. You beat a Chelsea, then all of a sudden it's like your tails are up. You beat an Arsenal, you know what I mean? So these are winnable games. You're not going into these games and
they're not winnable at the moment. Not based on what we're seeing. Not based on what we just have to be real. We can all have hope. We can all have hope. Do you know what I'm saying? But based on what we've seen of Manchester United now, we do not look like we can win any of those games.
But the thing is, you've got quality throughout that squad, even if they're not playing well. Greenwood can come and bang a few goals. Rashford is more than capable.
You still got a penalty on your side as well. You know what I mean?
Don't wind me up, bruv. Don't wind me up. Don't wind me up.
All jokes aside, you do have quality there, so you can. This season is crazy. It's very hard to call. Like Ackers are getting busted.
Your time's coming, Dash. Your time's coming. Your time's coming. That's a little note there, Dash. Dash on hit list.
It's not all panic stations now, but obviously there is cause for concern.
That's exactly it. Thank you, Pat. I don't think it's not panic. You're 3 games into the season. Yes, I take wholeheartedly what you're saying. The performance, when you're not performing well, it's obviously a cause of concern, but it's not panic stations yet. And I feel like 100%. If you get a result and you get the points on the board, you just build on from there. So it can go left or right for Oli right now. So he's at that crossroads where it's a Poch kind of situation. With Poch, it went left, and the results didn't come within 10 games or so.
Yeah,
it just
wasn't. He didn't win away from home.
Right. So by the time you get to about 5-6 games and it's not looking too great, then you can be like, "Yo, we're gonna have to make a decision," because you then don't want to be in a situation where you're then gonna be at the end of the season then clawing back the points. You want to be in a situation where you make the decision and be like, you know what, Oli out, then bring in the manager that you want, then you push on from there. But it's too early. Way too early.
Yeah, it's too early.
Okay. So the Spurs and the Arsenal fans think it's too early. I'm going to cut this podcast up into 2 parts because we spent a hell of a lot of time speaking about Spurs and Man United. So I'm going to cut this up into 2 parts because we've got loads of other games that we want to review and discuss. But let us know in the comments what you believe is the situation going on at Old Trafford. Many people don't feel that Oli is good enough, whether they be Manchester United fans, Spurs, Arsenal, Liverpool. These guys on here believe that Oli is doing a decent job and he needs a little bit more time before we react. Let us know what your feelings are in the comments.